Yeah, that's a much better angle there. Move my white trash ass wine glass. Alright, so, hey, this is going to be episode 7. A new beginning for the Jedis.
Oh no.
For the Yetis.
For Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri. Getting all sweaty with Guy Fieri. Ew. That makes my skin crawl. So, hey babe.
Hello.
Ready D&D?
Heck yeah.
Are you answering work thingies?
Do you pierce nipples?
Ew.
I don't, but Susie does.
Ah. Well, I mean, yeah, the shop does.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they're
I
asking
don't.
as an overall. They're not asking if you personally pops shit through people's hard, meaty nipples.
I do it all, apparently.
Yeah,
I do all the things.
well, that's great.
I don't pierce, so.
I have an open pack. Where'd I put them? I'm the specialist.
Uh-oh. It's not that one. Where is it?
Which one?
I point
Oh.
as it is closer to me and I could get it, but...
No, that's fine. So, go ahead. You sort of remember episode 6 a little better than I do.
A little bit, yeah. The last episode, we got back home, and I went on a little shopping spree.
Yeah.
Some intelligence on what's been going on. There have been some strange new travelers coming to town.
Yeah.
Heard that from the shop lady, who was real anxious to know things. And I ordered a sick pair of gloves from the armory.
Yeah.
Madeline's brother was killed.
That's right.
Under mysterious circumstances, possibly. And that's about it. I practiced raising the dead. Didn't go so great.
Come on, cat. Get out of the shot.
Hi, Brian.
Come on, guy. What's up? This is such a great start to the episode.
Oh my god.
Kitty kids. Get.
Roll for cat. I got 13.
Come here.
Your attempt should be successful. Yeah. Yeah.
So, alright. So you and Bentham were... he was trying to get the band back together in the basement with you. I remember we were doing that, like, weird roll thing.
Yes,
We
we
were
had a
roll-off.
montage.
Yeah. And, you weren't doing too well with killing...
No, not so great.
With returning the dead to life.
Not the best. Not my favorite.
That's fine, though. I'm trying to...
I will get better at it, though.
Yeah.
Because I'm plucky.
You are.
Determined.
Plucky, determined, and consistent.
That's me. Good
So-
old consistent Bjork.
Bjork. Well, let's say it's a little bit later in the day. What do you think you're doing?
Later
What would you
today.
find yourself doing?
We are probably going through his books to see if anything is missing. That was
Yeah.
mentioned. That's
I
what
remember
would,
that.
That's what I would guess that we are doing. We're doing inventory.
That's right.
It's like
So-
retail. We're doing a late night inventory.
So the two of you are down in the down in his office, which is right next to that room that you were raising the dead in, and which is a fascinating thought. Just raising the dead. There's the arm from a skink. And you're gonna be going through the like. Bentham doesn't keep folio. He doesn't keep proper folios. He keeps like just skein of fucking Elkhart leather that's just some shit wrapped in it, like some
Okay.
papers wrapped in it, and you know.
No rhyme or reason. But
Not really.
But I know everything is, right, at this point?
I'm sure by now
Probably.
you know exactly.
He has like a weird system.
Yeah.
He organizes his books by color.
Yeah.
He's one of those people. Yeah. It does look pretty.
Bring back Logan's Run.
But dear God.
So he's gonna Bentham's gonna get through like this scattered shelf of notes and these like bindings, and he's gonna look down at you and he's gonna say, Bjork, doesn't seem like anything of mine is missing here. Have you noticed anything out of place?
I'm gonna roll for that. Roll perception. Nope.
And he's gonna just I'm thinking that we're gonna have to go back to Madai at some point and see Charlie yet again.
Really?
Yeah,
and you told us to wait.
Yeah, and that's
No.
That's bothering me. Not quite sure why we need to be out for now, but I'm not positive of much at the moment. There's I'm not sure if you happen to notice us having words with each other.
I did a little bit. And I feel like this was discussed.
Was it?
I don't remember.
And well, it just I don't know. And you'd told me of the Farrington's son passing, which strange that he would just be so prevalent.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
It seems like a coincidence. We go through all this stuff and then we come home and boom.
Yeah. It just yeah, he's just gonna kind of look at it and shake his head and just, yes, it always felt as if something was on the rise in these parts. And I've had word from, we have plenty of boat travel. We have plenty of word from the other continents, and it seems like everywhere else, every time the other three continents are having a great time, we just, here on Emdan, seem to be having contention. Just a building thrum of awkward misery and burning my thumb with a cigarette. This is the way!
That's an apt metaphor for our local economy.
Yep. And so he's gonna leave and he's gonna say, look, it's been a hard day's travel and you have all your new spells and things, and I appreciate you running to town to see Madame Mistrel.
Yeah, she gave us that okay jerky, I remember.
Yeah, it was
It was fine.
It was fine.
It was fine.
It wasn't anything worth mentioning again.
It's perfectly okay.
But why don't we just why don't I just go ahead and get dinner started and we'll have a meal, and I think I'm about ready to call it an evening.
Oh. All right, Grandpa, let's do it. Am I cooking?
No, he said I'm gonna cook. He said I'm gonna make a meal.
Oh, that's
yeah,
nice.
We're being attentive to misogyny.
Nice.
Yeah, you're just you're an apprentice. It doesn't mean you're the fucking help too.
Well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bentham can't afford it right now.
Also, I'm probably a terrible cook.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that Bjork is not the best.
What do you think? What do you think orcs would cook? Is the question.
I feel like they would be sort of bewildered by the need to cook.
Yeah.
Like that's something they kind of picked up from being around other species.
Yeah.
Well, they're the kind of people they're like, I don't even understand why you're cooking that steak. Like.
Yeah.
What's even the point of that?
Yeah.
Like we don't eat out much because. Yeah. We don't eat out much. Just don't have a taste for it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We're always, we want to send everything back, but
yeah,
we don't because we're polite.
What do you think, spicy or even though you're just now getting into the habit, you guys are kind of like, you guys kind of are like neo hipster orcs.
Oh yeah.
Where
yeah.
you're just doing the thing.
Yeah, I think that...
You think you're rocking some, like,
I
real spicy...
Yeah. And I think that's another byproduct of being around other species, but that's something that's like a benefit.
Yeah.
Growing up around humans and elves and stuff.
That's a fair point.
Getting all these new things.
So, all right.
I imagine Bentham has a really wide range of hot sauces that he makes me try when he's bored.
I would, I would guess.
And he doesn't really like them. He just likes to feel cool.
Go ahead and roll me this percentile, and tell me how good this kind of spicy curry is.
Ooh, is it curry?
It's a type of curry. They don't have rice.
So.
They have
That sounds dope.
They have another long grain that fits real nice. What was it, 7?
70?
All right.
70.
So Bentham made
pretty great.
Almost like a he's feeling froggy because it's whatever time of the year. It's kind of getting like it's kind of hotter and shit out. It's summertime. Energy's a little low. So like it's like a fruity, death spicy curry.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, got like some.
Got like some mango in there.
Yeah, some like nice citrus in it.
Yum.
And he's gonna call for you and just be sitting at this long, awkward Batman table.
Oh god! Like, am I at the other end?
Yeah.
Like we have to yell at each other.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah. So, but over the years you've gained a space. You're actually just like right here.
Yeah.
And the rest of the table is just fucking empty.
It's basically what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah.
Aww.
So do you have anything you want to talk to Bentham about while you guys have dinner? Do you have anything you want to bring up? That's the question.
Yeah. Charlie mentioned talking to Marilyn.
Mm-hmm.
We can't trust her, right? What's her deal?
Oh, you mean the
Yeah, didn't she like sold us out?
She's an odd. The problem with her, she's divination.
Yeah.
So she's the chair for divination.
Mm-hmm.
She has this issue, much like a book by the guy who wrote Fight Club. That 3 G's the Bard. He wrote another book. It's called Survivor.
I love him.
And
I love his work.
Read
it in middle school.
She's kind of got this issue with divination where she's truly mastered it to a point where reality almost slips around her.
She doesn't consider herself like part of.
No, she has this. She's the every now and then she does this dumb shit where she calls herself the Watcher.
Ew.
Yeah, and there's she swears that there are other Watchers out there, and
I roll my eyes.
Yeah.
It sounds like an excuse to me.
Well, okay. Look, it's not that divination isn't a wonderful and important magic. It's just, you're right, it makes her a real asshole.
Yeah. Ooh, nothing affects me.
Yes.
Oh, nothing affects me. I'm just gonna live in my big fancy house and enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I don't have to do anything.
Well, I mean,
I'm just gonna watch my friends get kidnapped. That's fine.
Yes, it's the...
Fine. Whatever.
She has this strange idea that there are other planes of existence, which, we've had report of some of the gods of this world coming down and speaking to some select few, even grabbing an ass here or there. And it just...
Skeptical.
She has this idea of this plane where she calls them this awkward word, robot, robot men. Robots.
Robots.
Yes, they're,
Roombas?
Yes, they're...
Roombas.
She says on this plane that everything is mechanical and they worship this Mechanicus. And, they're just these odd little men. She calls them robots, but she says there's a proper term for them, modrons. She's very awkward about it. And, I mean, you have to give her some weight of reality with the things that she says, but she just...
So she's crazy.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
she brings that whole...
Ridiculous.
She's just here to run in and take stats. You know, she just kind of... And he looks at you completely fucking disgusted with what he's like.
Yeah.
Like, just...
Like,
yeah,
we're on the same way.
he's like, yeah, you're right. It's a real dick move to pretend neutrality. Mm-hmm. But, you know, even with him just being who he is, he doesn't...
So you don't think she's our enemy, you just think she's a dick?
Yes, that...
Right.
Yes, and there are some like that we must keep, and there's some that we can just let idly wash by. Some vagrants that are screaming of end times, we can just walk past them and pretend they don't exist, but others we have to hold up as social heroes. Little fuck, don't you think?
I don't have to like it.
Yeah.
I don't have to like it.
What do you think of the curry?
It's fucking great.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's my jam.
It's, I'm
like, shut up, man. You know it's good.
And, so he's gonna keep...
I want a dad who makes curry.
He's not your dad. Oh my god. So...
Daddy.
He kind of like... He just goes back to quietly eating. And out of, like... You're gonna hear Hector just kind of like...
Oh no.
Like... He just kind of rumbles around.
Yeah.
And like he does that shit all the time, where he's just roaming and rumbling.
Yeah.
And
he's a good boy.
He does that kind of shit. And you're gonna hear an awkward little like if Hector could bark since he's a fucking carrion worm, he would be barking, but he's kind of just like...
Yeah.
That's the noises he makes.
Sound.
I'm making this all up.
I like it.
And, so he's gonna... You're gonna hear this, like... very, very, very light tap at the door.
Oh. I'll get it.
And, so... Whatever. Let's pretend this is a door. Okay, so you're gonna walk to the door, and when you swing it open, this thing with no weapons.
Oh.
Okay.
Hello.
He's not holding weapons.
Okay.
What is outside the door is a very, very short kobold.
Oh.
And just like this one, he's like a deeper blue with white plates. You know, like his back scales are his protective scales, so you can't fucking blood eagle him. That's why they're there, to save for blood eagle. They're like almost a pearlescent white, and he's got this cute little belt, just a simplistic brown belt with a couple of pouches hanging off of it, and he's gonna look up at you, and he's speaking kobold, but also sort of orcish language, because he's a lizard person. He's in the lizard people genus, and here orcs are too, sort of. You're not a lizard person, I promise.
Let's
But
see if I don't have any languages.
You have orcish in common.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we'll give you a special one at some point.
Common?
And he's gonna stop chittering. He's gonna say, "Yeah, Oh. Oh, yeah.
I'm smiling real big because it's really sweet that he tried to speak orc.
And like, you can see him
"That's
try,
really nice."
like, yeah.
like, oh.
Yeah, like.
That's really weird. Not a lot of people attempt my language.
Yeah, we're gonna go try our elementary Spanish at some bodega on 85th after the Rockette show.
Yeah.
Like, shut up, asshole. Speak English.
No, I'm charmed. I think it's adorable.
Sorry, that was a ridiculous. Aside. And he's gonna look at you. He's gonna, how ma'am, I'm looking for Bentham. Is Mr. Bentham in? And he's kind of like nervously fiddling his hands. And you see that on his belt, like, he's not carrying a dagger or anything. He's not carrying any weapons. He's just kind of nude.
Okay.
Except for the belt.
Well, I'm gonna let him in. I'm not gonna roll anything because I figure he could be a customer. I'm used to this. I'm used to people showing up at the door.
Yeah.
And I figure this is my house.
Right.
Like, there's probably protections in place for, shenanigans.
Well, yeah, Hector's definitely gonna.
Right, like,
Hector's definitely gonna notice this kobold walking in because, like,
whoa,
lizard people.
Neat.
And
are you hungry? Do you like curry?
And this little lizard, this little kobold, he's gonna look up at you. And no, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm. It's been a very long time.
Oh.
But I'm sorry. I don't quite eat your food. If is that? Do you have a carrion worm as a pet?
His name's Hector.
Oh.
He cleans up. He is a pet, but he cleans up. You can imagine how useful that might be.
Oh.
In our line of work.
Well, yes.
Please don't be. I have this practiced speech because people come in. Hector can be pretty alarming, so I have this sort of. Like maybe I say something like, Hector, roll over.
And Hector's just gonna kind of just look at you with all of his eyes up here.
Yeah.
Just gonna look.
Aww. He does that ear cock thing. That,
just kind of like.
And I shrug and I'm like, it's a work in progress. I'm trying.
And Hector's just gonna. He look at him and you can see he's excited.
Oh.
He likes lizard a lot.
No.
And so this little kobold, he's gonna look up at you. He's gonna say, would you mind? I understand common procedure is to go get your master, but would you mind not leaving me alone with him?
Oh, of course.
Thank you.
Of course, come with me.
And you can see he's not sweating. Obviously, they have they're cold blooded, but he's extremely nervous.
Sure, I would like to now roll perception.
Okay.
And make sure, he's nervous because of Hector. That seems obvious, but is there a different reason? A more nefarious reason? It's just Hector, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I got it too.
And he's not giving you any, you've dealt with...
Just making sure.
You've dealt with odd customers and things like that, and, you know that he's just kind of... He's either coming in to arrange a service or something, or,
Yeah.
And, so, are you going to walk him through to the kitchen to get...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can see Hector's just kind of hovering in other rooms, still really attentive to what you're doing, which is odd for him, because he's, usually on his own, minding his own fucking business.
I make a mental note of that in case we ever get some kobold bodies.
Let the kobold bodies hit the floor. And Bentham's gonna call out, "Yes, what is it? Who is it, Bjork?"
Oh, I forgot. I didn't ask your name. I'm so sorry.
And this little kobold's gonna look up at you and just say, my name's Salissa Aruk.
Salissa?
Yes.
Like Melissa?
Yes.
Mr. Mr. Bentham, I have Mr. Uruk with me. A Mr. Salissa Uruk.
Silas, oh. Here. And you hear Bentham kind of shuffle from the table. And he's going to come to the door and, he's going to come to the kitchen door and meet you there. Not, obviously, holding his weapon. He's gonna greet Silissa with, the warmth of a friend. The warmth of a known friend, for sure.
Oh.
And,
good.
And Silassa's gonna return Bentham goes in for a handshake that's about half this fucking kobold size. Right?
Aww.
Giant hand. And Silassa's gonna kind of, dart in and grab his leg and just squeeze.
Aw, cute.
And, he's gonna say, Bentham, it's been so long, I'm sorry to barge in on you like this, And Bentham's gonna say, no, Silas, what's the issue? And Silas is gonna kind of take a step back from both of you, and he's gonna say, do you remember all those years ago when we had that, when we had that problem at the den that you came and assisted with, taking all of our young after they were dead from the attacks. And he, you can see Silas just getting real downtrodden for being a kobold. Oh. And, just kind of downtrodden. And you eradicated our den from all of those, from that one ogre. And and Bentham's gonna look down at him. He's gonna say, yes, of course I remember. What, has the problem returned? And Silas is gonna look up at him and he's gonna say, well, Bentham, no, not quite this time. You know that you're a trusted friend, and look, I want to invite you to my daughter's wedding.
Whoa. Not at all what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
I've never been to a wedding.
Bentham's gonna pause for a bit. He's gonna pause for a minute, and he's gonna say, "Oh, Shenna's getting married finally. To whom?" And Silissa is gonna look back up at him, and obviously this blue kobold, his cheeks are gonna redden a little bit, and he's gonna say, well, Bentham, that's why I'd like you there. Have you met with any of the other? Have you dealt with any of the other tribes of us that exist here? And Bentham's gonna look at, no, I can honestly say, with you being so close down by Gorble, you haven't been murdering townspeople again, have you? And he just kind of chuckles a little bit.
Inside joke.
And
oh, you. Oh, Salissa.
And Salissa's like, no, well, Shenna's fallen in love with Elwyn. That's Elwyn, spelled Elwyn in case you're noticing. She's fallen in love with Elwyn of the North tribe, the son of the northern tribal leader. And you can see Silas is kind of getting not awkward, but just like I'm
super
a,
enthused.
he's like, yeah, you know that this is not a good thing, kind of look on his face. And you know, she's my only daughter that survived the birthing purge, so she is quite important to me. And we're gonna have I would like you there personally there. I would like you there as a person, Bentham. I would like you there because you've done good for us before. You've managed to, you know, not treat us as just idle tropes as some other folks in this town would. And you've given us respect, and I do adore you as a creature like myself. I would like you in that. I would like you there in that capacity, and well, I mean, we're going to have the tribe from the east is coming as well, and he looks just fucking mortified.
Oh.
Do you want to roll perception or history on why that would be prevalent, relevant?
I know about kobold culture. Oh, I was almost a 20. But it's a 2.
You would know that just like you and Bentham, kobolds are really outcast, and they are a problematic race where some are trying to break through and some are trying to come into modernity, while others are just murderous lizard folk that like to trap people in holes and kill them. Some of them, but not all kobolds. Hashtag. And even with a low roll like a 2 on history or perception, you would know that because of the strength of Silas's tribe, the locals, as they were. Now they're ice kobolds. That's why they're blue, and they do live deep underneath the town of Gorbel. There's a small polar vortex underneath. We'll get there. Anyway, so that's why he's blue. But anyway, so you would know that intertribal war is always a thing, and it's probably hard enough that most kobolds who survive the birthing, the egging, as it were, that don't just get eaten like sea turtles. Happy National Sea Turtles Day. That's today.
Is it?
It was today, the 17th or the 16th, whatever. Anyway, so just like that, they kind of like they rush to safety. It's their primordial motivator. Like, all right, let's herd to safety and see who survives.
Yeah.
Not many of the females do survive, but the females do get all the fucking. They get the fucking kingdom if they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why he's willing to do an intertribal marriage between his daughter. But there is a curiosity as to why the third tribe would be there. That even you would know about as a low rolling commoner.
See me low rolling.
They hate him. And Bentham's gonna look down and say, Jesus! Bentham's gonna look down and he's just gonna kind of smirk in his own little way, like just, you can see it, it's real, like, it's real subtle. He's just saying, Silas, I'd be honored, as, you know, in the capacity of friend, yes, I mean, our relationship here is quite important to me as well, and I'm so glad to hear your little girl is getting married. That's lovely. And I would love to bring. Is it okay if I bring Bjork with me as well? Obviously, in the capacity of. What would you like to call it, Silissa? Would you like to call it riot stoppers or war enders? And Silas is gonna look at. Look,
we've made much progress. You know, having Shenna and Elwyn getting married, we have made an excellent amount of progress between coming into the new age with Burl, the Elwyn's father, the leader of his tribe. But we can't leave them out. We can't leave the East out, and you know that they would use it as a political tactic, as a reason.
They'd be upset. Yeah.
So Aiden will be there. He's bringing his troop and he's bringing his brood.
And he says it all like just real shitty. Like
they don't actually call them broods, but this guy does because he's an
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah,
It's like
because
his
he's
gang name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that group of kids in high school that give themselves a name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sharks and the Jets.
Yeah.
We get it. You guys have friends. Alright, we're gonna take a break.
I need more coffee.
That's fine. We're gonna catch a break. We'll be right back.
Oh god.
Yeah, so. And, who the hell was talking? Bentham? Bentham was, oh yeah, Bentham had asked what, yeah.
What role we'd be serving.
Yes, and, so Silas, he's gonna just,
Look, Bentham, I know that everything should be okay. We shouldn't have too much of an issue. I would certainly hope. And if there is, well, it's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening at, where everyone's coming to Kobold, which is impressive that they're all willing to come and sit in the cold for as long as it takes to go through the rites of kinship. God, you'd think we're as bad as the Catholics. It takes 4.5 fucking hours. In the cold. And, everyone's making a concerted effort to be well, and, we're just,
So we're guests, but you want us there in the sense of, like, you want these other tribes to just see that you have friends, kind of way.
Are you saying that out loud, or?
Yeah.
Okay. And, Silas is gonna look at you.
no, not in that sense. I just would love to have my friend there, of course. And, it'd be great if the neighbor would walk away from the window. I mean, if anything gets out of hand, I know I'm safe. And my dear sweet Shenna, she'll be safe, and if everything gets out of hand and only 2 of you survive, well, Bentham,
He's gonna just kind of, his nervousness turns to awkward energy, and he just says,
Bentham, there's a large case of supplies and gold outside of your door. If you are the only 2 to remain, bring me and my daughter back, would you?
That's smart. That's smart.
and
Having a big party, some of my political adversaries are going to be there. Things might go down the shitter. Bring me back if I get killed.
talk about calling in your ace card.
Yeah.
Like,
Just,
yeah.
when you have necromancers as friends.
And Bentham's just gonna kind of, that deep subtle smirk that he usually has that the only you can really notice it's gonna slide right across his face and he's gonna brighten up. Now, Silissa, now you speak in my language. And he's just gonna kind of. He's gonna reach down to just kind of like pat him on the back and then think about it as he realizes that his hand is about half the size of this little kobold.
Yeah.
And just, he's gonna go like, huh? Give me some. And you're gonna see this little lizard hand just, they smack. And then, and Silas is gonna look over to you and he's gonna say, and of course, you're welcome to. Please do come. So Bentham's gonna wait a beat, and again, I hope that the neighbors go inside. He's gonna wait a beat and just say, "Now, what, Silas? When's the wedding?" And Silas is gonna
say it's tomorrow.
Silas is gonna smirk and he's gonna say, daybreak tomorrow. There's a caravan out there. There's a Grand Caravan outside. I brought it. They brought me, and well, we managed to get 4 of our carts together. I had hoped that you had an apprentice by now. And there's space for you both in that Grand Caravan. I mean, 3rd row seating. You could even fit a family of 7 or 8.
How many cup holders?
Every seat's a captain's seat.
Wow.
With cup holders.
Heated seats?
Not
Such
quite.
luxury. Oh, okay. Not too luxurious then.
No, that's the Grand Touring Caravan. And he's just gonna and he's gonna look up at Bentham and he's gonna say, do you want me to have the trunk brought in or do you want me to have them replaced on the caravan so you can look through it on your way?
Oh, I say we should bring it inside.
And
surely we'll have time to take a quick look at it.
yeah. So Alyssa kind of just claps his tiny little hands twice, and two other kobolds, 6 other kobolds at this point. There's 2 that you can see on each end, but there's also 4 underneath of it because of how heavy this fucking trunk is.
Oh, wow.
This thing is big, and they just kind of they push open the door and they walk this thing in, and they just set it right in the grand foyer. And Silas looks up and says, "Oh, you have a moment if you need. We'll be outside waiting for you."
Sure.
And so you're gonna see all the other 6 kobolds. They're just gonna flitter out. They're just gonna roam right back out of the building as soon as they're done. And
I bet Hector's going nuts.
And Silas is just kind of like, you can see his tail wagging, and you can see Hector out of the corner of your eye. But you would probably notice too that Bentham definitely has a stern "I will fucking murder you" look in his eye that he's giving to Hector.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
So all kobolds pass safely back outside.
Good.
And Bentham's gonna kind of he's just gonna kind of like, just kind of rub the back of his head a little bit. And he's like, "Oh, goddamn kobolds." And he just laughs a bit. Just, well, I mean, if I ever needed something to do, they all just kind of pop up whenever you don't expect them. Go ahead, Bjork. Go ahead and open the box.
Yeah, open the box.
Yes.
Oh, what's in the box?
What's in the box? So you're gonna find inside of the box. This box is about as big as a table, probably about 4 foot by 8 foot. Like, it's a big fucking chest. Ooh. And it's maybe 3 feet tall.
Damn.
In depth.
Jesus.
So when you open it, it's a really beautifully built box for the kobolds that are not, they're not craftsmen, they're not people that they're not a people that deal heavy in delicate and finer things and like high craftsmanship.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like that one time when your uncle decided he was a carpenter and his first 100 projects were shitty, like real shitty, obviously shitty. This is the one that passes. At least passes the first eye look. And as you flip this thing, as you flip open this this lid, the lid just kind of has these iron hinges on the back.
Ooh.
There are 4 of them, and they're kind of askew. And you fight with the lid a little bit,
Yeah, it's a little steep.
and as you swing it up and open, like up past its apex, it just breaks off.
Oh.
And hits the floor.
Well.
And inside is gems.
Whoa.
There are like just everything's kind of errantly thrown in there. There are rubies as big as your fist.
Whoa.
There's jade and also emeralds, things that a bad parent gets on, like everything that's in this box, including a very large sum of gold. Right? The only thing that's even covered is this sack, and when you pick it up, you open it up, and there's about 1,500 gold in it. Right? It's a decent fucking size sack. Like mine.
I wasn't gonna say it.
Yeah, it's up there. It's a bag. It holds all my dice. It says almost a crit on it. It's a great sack.
Great.
Guys, if you don't listen to
Way
Dungeons of
to it.
Randomness, you're missing out.
Really listen again.
Go catch up on 1,000 hours worth of content, more than. Great show. And but you're gonna pick it up and you're like, holy shit! You jingle it. And you're like, oh fuck. That's a lot of gold, because it's got some heft to it. And he's sitting on the floor. Bentham's right behind you, and as he's just shaking his head, he's like, they're so good at knowing that I'm a magician, at knowing that I do magic, and they've given us, I suppose, everything related to what we do. Maybe nothing too specific.
Yeah.
Like gems and things like that. There are some spells that require that the kobolds know. Like, Silyssa knows that magic just takes parts and pieces. So he just kind of, it looks like he went to whatever store sells magic parts and was like, fuck it, this seems right. This seems right. This will probably do, and just filled this fucking box And
some animal skulls in there, like they're into that goth shit, right?
Yeah.
They like that, and I'm like, yeah.
Did you give Bentham that mace? Did we ever talk that through?
I still have it.
Okay.
I didn't sell it. I must still have it.
Okay. So Bentham's gonna he's almost like he's really jovial, and he's gonna put his hand on your shoulder as you're digging through like. It's a ridiculous amount of magic components, like special like ferns and like whispering fern that you can only get from the scary fucking mountains in the north off of Frayne.
Yeah.
There's a giant bag of them in there.
Wow.
Like that's enough for a lifetime's worth of spells.
Damn.
And he's gonna put his hand on his shoulder like in the middle of laughing, and he's gonna say, nah, Bjork, I hate to be this guy. This is this is wonderful. This is everything that we would. This feels real setup-y. I mean.
Oh yeah.
it's really thoughtful that we would have this many components, but I mean, good lord, there's too much in here, and I just want you to know that they are good people. Silissa is a wonderful kobold. His daughter, lovely young thing. And you can see him kind of wince when he says that.
Yeah,
a
it's
little
weird
bit.
to say. Yeah.
And he's gonna say, when we were in that labyrinth, did you keep that mace?
Sure did.
It's up to you if you'd like to start. If you wish to use it, that's fine. I mean, I did get you that special stick.
Would you like the mace?
I would personally prefer it. It's
Oh yeah, that's fine.
It's a +2, so if you could,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
it feels like a
Of course.
much better weapon for me to take
yeah.
to this.
Yeah, I'm not gonna use it.
I'm going to say that,
I was gonna maybe sell it, but it looks like we don't need the money.
dear girl, I will tell you this, as much as I get away from culture and I try to stay away from their nonsense most times, but things in this world, they're destined for you. That is for sure. When they come, you don't just need to pawn them off for a sweet grill or whatever it is you children are
One of those
into
green
these
egg
days.
things.
Yes.
We all want.
I mean, don't go chasing waterfalls. Just stick to the rivers and.
I won't. That's so beautiful. Did you write that?
Yeah. What's the second part of that? Is it lakes? Rivers and lakes that you're used to. That is the dumbest fucking lyric. Fuck you, the 90s. Anyway. I do, because I don't want Left Eye to burn my house down. Please, Left Eye, don't burn my house down. We're not dating. I feel like I need to edit that out at this point. I'm terrified. It's like getting a chain letter on AOL.
If she shows up, I'm gonna shit.
And, but Bentham's gonna say, you know, as little, nonsense as I carry through, if something comes to you, I would recommend, I would say it's probably meant to be yours. But for now, I'll take that mace.
Don't sweat it, bro.
And, I was gonna say, and if you'd like, we'll just leave the components here and...
Yeah. I mean, is there something
that gold is yours. Look,
Cool.
I'm pensive. I am enthused as could be. I've never been to a kobold wedding.
I'll take a good fistful of gold
Yeah.
to take with me. Fill up my personal little purse.
So you're gonna have like,
Ooh, is there any chance we can stop and get my gloves, or did they show up at the door?
they're not. Your gloves aren't even done yet. It's the
Fuck.
same day.
Oh, that's right. Nah, that's fine.
Yeah, this isn't photo hut. This isn't drive through.
They don't have Prime yet.
So that's gonna add $750 to your overall gold bank.
$750.
So you can take whatever out of that you want, and carry it with you.
I'll take 100 with me.
All right.
So, just in case. So 114.
Okay.
Just in case.
Well, let's get on out of there. Let's get on our way. I suppose it's going to be quite a ride. Do you want to do you? I don't even care. You're not even gonna roll perception on this. When you walk outside, the most interesting of sights is going to be right outside of the gates as you, pop the light off, make sure that Hector's got what he needs to eat. Hector's okay. You can see he's like, I don't know. He's like a
disappointed.
Yeah.
He didn't get any.
He's a little bummed out. He didn't get to eat any lizard.
Yeah.
And we'll say that you're taking 3 days worth of rations with you.
Okay.
Okay. And make travel important.
So what you're gonna see is the blue Grand Caravan out in front of you. Out in front of the gate, as you locked up the doors and walked out of the gate, there is a line of these blue wagons, right? Carnival-esque,
Ooh,
just
decked out. Swanky.
they could be almost magisterial quality, but all the corners are a little wonky, like somebody was trying to eyeball all the work that they were doing, and
Aw,
just
trying.
there's Silissa is in one of them. He waves at you and just yells,
One in the back's for you. Obviously, it's the biggest one here.
and so out of these tiny little caravans pulled by these little horses, like Land of the Little Horses, dwarf ponies,
No.
right?
Dear, I'm a little concerned.
What are they, Shetland ponies that are the tiny ones? Yeah. So these little Shetland
They're the
ponies,
cutest.
right?
But that makes sense. They're good at walking over ice.
Yeah. And in the vehicle in the very back, if you were rolling on ecstasy and went to Disney,
Sounds terrifying.
you'd be looking at this thing. It is this just. It's like it's kind of like one of those concrete pylons the parking pylon where it just kind of, the top of it is wide, the bottom of it is smaller, just kind of comes down in like this. The front is cockeyed as shit, and there's like almost an alcove, like the front is so fucking cockeyed that the stage driver, like, almost has a roof over his head, right? And this thing is just disproportionately large compared to the rest of these kobolds
They're trying.
and their caravans. And it is this ugly earthen blue, just like, it looks like they found a vein of cobalt and fucking just just added some water to it and just kind of threw it at this fucking thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, they tried real hard. It's got two wonky windows. One's a fucking triangle on one side. The other one's a pentagon. And there's this little not dressed, cloaked kobold. It's blue kobold in a blue robe, and he's holding the reins. And unlike the other caravans, there are two elk carts pulling this wagon, because apparently it's the only thing that, even with the weight of you and Bentham, that on this island probably could. So, elk carts are about as big as you two.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's Shetland ponies and two Clydesdales, pretty much.
That's amazing.
And as you get in, roll that percentile again. Let's see how the inside looks.
The percentile.
A 30 or an 80?
30.
Oh, that's a 30.
Oh dear.
You can find it's like every fucking kid's dream of like
Aw.
a pillow room.
Yeah.
And on the inside, like, just liner hanging down. Yeah, just curtains that are just in shambles.
Yeah.
And
That's a blanket fort. That's
and
great.
like lumps of something soft
If only we had popcorn.
wrapped in other shit. And
Yeah.
they're just idly thrown on the floor. And you both could definitely find a comfortable-ish ride. Okay?
Cute.
Mm-hmm.
How exciting. Bjork's never been to a wedding. She's very excited. She's nervous that she doesn't look nice enough. But,
You're going to a kobold wedding.
you know. I'm a teenage girl.
That's true.
Worried.
So
So I spend the ride like braiding my orc hair, trying to make it look pretty. But I'm not great at braiding.
yeah.
It's a pretty clumsy attempt.
Do you want a D20 for braiding?
Yeah.
Alright. This is going to be an agility check. That's not even a thing anymore. Performance check. Your braids are pretty decent. Kobolds won't notice.
Kobolds don't notice. I rolled a 4. So
Alright.
they look exactly the way my actual hair would look if I tried to braid it.
Oh yeah, I can.
Yeah,
I
I
can
can't
braid.
braid.
I can braid friendship bracelets to say it's like I could free a prisoner from
Yeah.
Guantanamo with the
Yeah.
quality of my friendship bracelets. But when it comes to hair, I just can't braid hair.
Aw.
Not my thing.
Yeah.
So during the Bentham's gonna just kind of fall asleep for a little bit, and he just he feels if you're right next to him, he certainly has that like buzz about him of like I'm about to make a really bad joke at a funeral,
This
right? Like that kind of like
is gonna be
just
great.
oh
my
this is
God.
gonna be the best worst thing we've ever done.
Oh my god. So good.
And as the day goes by, like it's already dinner time, so like night falls pretty quick, and they're like all the drivers that bring out their fairy lights and they're lighting the path or whatever, and you're just gonna head You're gonna head like southwest from Mudine. And, out into the wilds, it's all just trees and beautiful rolling hills. Not that, nothing stands out all that much. No looming mountains or any of that dull bullshit.
Mountains are such bullshit.
Yeah.
God.
But
all
as,
that majesty
like,
and shit.
as the night progresses, like the moon is full size, beautifully reflecting. So it's like there's like that weird dark amber to the light outside. You have dark vision anyway, but like it is really just a beautiful night to be out on a carriage ride in something close to a coffin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Bentham just kind of passes out after a while, and he's
Smart.
snoring away. He's like, just right next to you or whatever. Doing that weird butt-to-butt thing. Like,
Oh yeah.
like, this is awkward enough. Don't fucking touch me. Yeah. Sorry, bro, we gotta share this hotel bed.
Yeah. And I turn on my back because that seems like the right way to go.
Yeah.
But sometimes our butts will touch.
Yeah. And, just night's gonna progress on by. And, yeah, it's, the road's pretty smooth, the ride's not bad. At some point, a couple of hours in, there's gonna be, you're gonna feel the caravan kind of come to a stop for a moment, and, one of the kobolds in the front, you're gonna hear him yell, "Halt!" And, is it gonna get you're probably awake?
Yeah.
You're in that, like,
I'm awake.
like, what, that would get your attention, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you're gonna hear footsteps. You're gonna hear footsteps plodding back, and they're tiny little lizard person footsteps.
No.
Their cues come in. And there's gonna be a quick rap on the door, and he's gonna say, and this little kobold's gonna say, here, Mr. Bentham, a note from Silas. Here you go. And like, Bentham's not even gonna stir, so I'm assuming you're gonna grab
Yeah,
it
I
from
guess
the
so.
the triangular window.
Yeah.
That like, you can see that the whatever messenger had to come up, like he had to like crawl up and
Aw.
just put his hand through the triangular window and just he's holding it like, I don't know, like whatever, and so you grab it from his hand, and you're gonna hear his footsteps pad about 3 or 4 more times, and then one of the elk carts is gonna just horn out. If you've ever listened to an elk's call, terrifying. And then you're gonna hear that same messenger scream,
Oh no.
and and you're gonna hear the carriage driver call out, "All right, last one, let's move ahead."
Ah.
after a moment, the carriage driver is gonna call back and say, "Sorry, folks, one of the old carts got a little wild and smashed Timmy to death with his head.
Timmy, no!
It's all right.
Timmy.
He had many young.
He did such a good job delivering that note. His young are gonna miss him.
They'll move on.
Timmy!
Are you gonna try to wake Bentham to give him this note, or
Yeah. Surely my distress over my good friend Timmy will be enough to wake him.
Everybody's friend Timmy.
Timmy, no, I'm imagining Timmy from Whitest Kids You Know. Just a heads up. Timmy!
Timmy is a tiny blue kobold.
Yep.
Yep.
That high voice.
Just wrong place, wrong time. Just clobbered in the head by an elk.
Wrong place, wrong timey. Oh, Timmy. I sing a few... I sing a few lines from The Parting Glass.
Oh, God.
For Timmy. For Timmy.
So...
It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Certainly beautiful. And Bentham's gonna stare. What is it? Give it to me. And he opens this note, and it's just gonna say, in like scrawled common, just the entrance to. It's just gonna say Gorball half hour out. Be alert. They're here. And so like the night has progressed through. It's already like dawn is slowly coming. Slowly coming. And so Bentham's gonna look over and he's gonna say, "Alright, I hope you've slept a little at least. My, what lovely braids." Yeah.
Smile real big.
And he's Bentham's gonna put his head out of this triangular window. And he's gonna look around. And he's gonna say, "Well, might want to take a peek. It is quite nice today." Go ahead and roll perception.
Should have grabbed some pieces of Timmy to send back to Hector.
You can get him on the way back.
Yeah.
It's not like anybody's gonna take. I mean, I don't even think the birds want to eat him. 19. So, the entrance to the kobold's den, kingdom, small underground kingdom, is in the side of this ambling hill. And it's a large opening, and
That's what she said.
it's a large opening, and normally it's not visible. It's usually, it's not like it's cloaked or anything like that, but it doesn't stand out as anything. It looks more, the kobolds are excellent strategists, terrible craftsmen, and so the way that this opening usually is that it hangs in the it's in the shadow of the sunlight at all times of the day. So it's in the side of this ambling hill, and there's a front butt of a hill that comes out. So the shadow from the sun, even at its highest point during the summer months or any time of the year when the sun moves in the sky, the opening is always in the shadow. So it just kind of looks like just kind of blends in. This morning, as you look at it, it's got this beautiful blue and orange and like tannish yellow lights just circling the entrance, and they're just kind of moving and waving, and some of them are floating in circles, and it's a glorious, beautiful sight as the background of the sun behind it.
Romantic.
Which side does the sun rise on?
It's your fantasy realm. It can rise however you want.
That's true. It rises in the west and sets in the east, because fuck So that milky twilight, that milky sunrise that starts to break at about 5:15, 5:20 in the morning, starting to like the background of it, behind this hill is starting to be painted this beautiful blue light, and the darkness is now behind you. It's gorgeous.
All right,
it's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Bob Ross painting some happy little kobolds.
Oh, yeah.
And Bentham's gonna say, quite a lovely sight. Well, here goes. And the caravan just kind of disappears into this giant gaping hole. That's spread that wide on purpose. It's not just like hanging out or anything like that.
All right, I follow.
And there's no reason to get out because much like that one really bad Predator film, the cave, the cave mouth, like there's a road that just starts leading down into the earth.
Okay.
Into the sod.
Cool.
And dirt of Giradan. All right. And as you progress down, you see every now and then there are flags planted in the colors of the in Silas's tribe. That they're most prevalent. They're the biggest flags, and then there's like a green and orange striped one here and there, and that's they're definitely second place today, because that's Elwyn and that's the Elwyn the groom. That's his tribe's colors.
Gotcha.
And then there's these fiery orange and red and brown striped ones that are Aiden's tribes, the Eastern Kobolds. That's their colors. And they're very few and far between. Mm. So, and as you get down, as the caravan progresses, it's going to come down this large thing, giant track, giant ramp, half a mile underground, roughly. It's going to start to get real cold around you. Just surprisingly cold around you. And eventually the caravan's going to come, everything's going to flatten back out, and you're going to be in a parking lot.
Oh.
Pretty much what seems like a parking lot, but the grand procession comes in. There's way off tune trumpets and shit ringing out everywhere. And
I'm like, oh, I know this song.
That's exactly what you hear. That's canon now.
Oh, weird choice.
Oh my god. Ah! And these horns are blowing, and you're passing all these other, poorly made kobold caravans.
Making my way underground.
Just not so fast. Gotta show caution in such an alien environment.
It's fast, no. Not. We are so good at this game.
And so, there's this grand procession as you pass through these horns playing that garbage song from the 90s. And, just passing on by, and, eventually the kobold for the halt. And, everybody comes to a stop. And, Silas is gonna come back, and he's gonna bang on the on the door. Bentham, we're here. Look, I've got a few minor preparations to do. I know it's quite chilly down here for most. The things that you're sleeping on, they should be dried out by now. Those pillows, they're also skins, so might be fresh. If you need another one, we can take out one of your L cards. That's fine. But I must be going. But yes, please feel free to rip apart your things there and wear them and be comfortable. Enjoy yourself.
Okay. Weird.
as you flip them over, you're gonna realize that like, yeah, they're not furry. It's not furs. It's just like they shaved it.
Yeah.
They shaved the top and then they
Didn't
tanned
really-
both sides.
yeah,
And they're like,
It
yeah, that
was
counts as a fucking pillow, right?
Yeah. Great. I love it.
And yeah, so
Oh, I wanna make one of those little like girls on Pinterest who take like oversized T-shirts and they somehow make it into like a cute dress with like a little bow.
yeah,
I'm gonna do that.
yeah,
Do that for my
Yeah.
wedding outfit,
that's cute.
just on top of my armor and shit.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna change. I'm just gonna
yeah.
try to be more formal. How do I
You're-
do?
You're,
How does it look?
Bentham's,
How do I look?
Bentham's gonna.
I look okay.
You look pretty okay.
I look
You look
fine.
median okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bentham's
I
gonna
look
yank some of these
last
apart,
minute homecoming dance.
and like, as you rip some of these like skinned pillows apart, like some of them have straw, some of them have just bloody feathers, just in them. And Bentham's just gonna kind of look disgusted. He's gonna like flip one inside out, and it's gonna still have a face in it.
Ugh.
It's just like mouth
no.
and shit, and he's gonna look at you and just say, "Ha, stink stole," and he's gonna wrap it around his neck,
Oh,
the only
dear.
exposed
Oh.
part of his body, and he's laughing a little bit because it's indeed a skinned human's face, and he's just gonna look at you and say, "God, if it only had teeth, I could clamp it in place."
I take one of the bloody feathers, and I make like a sort of brooch with it. Like I use it to kind of hook it in place.
Lovely.
Real fancy.
So
You look great.
as you look around the beauty that is this this fucking kobold wedding.
Oh my god.
Okay. So Silissa is not creative enough to really Silissa and none of the kobold generations that came before him have been thoughtful or creative enough to name this place. So everybody just knows not to, spend too much time on the outskirts of Korbal, which is where, is the closest man city. Mansplaining. And so all these caravans are like parked in this sort of circular flat spot here, and there's just like a big hallway, and it's like cut stone, and it's all shimmering with ice. It is really fucking cold here, and there's a weird some geological bullshit that makes it uncomfortably cold underneath this part of Endan.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna walk through this walkway and it is like weird, not a dick shaped hall. There's gonna be lots of little doorways and shit. Little doorways. You couldn't, it's like fucking trying to find the right size socket in a maternity ward. That hole doesn't seem right. That thing's a little too big. Weird. And there's like plenty of doors that are kobold size that like you might fit an arm into, maybe a head, but like you walk out and there's this grand sort of room-ish. It's just lined with kobolds of all colors.
Ooh.
And we're gonna go to Sight and Sound, and we're gonna watch Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. So you're gonna come in and like there's just rows and rows of them, and you can tell it's like any high school cafeteria where, everybody's hanging out with their homies.
Oh, yeah,
Nobody's even between even between the blue and the blue and the lighter orange yellowy kobolds that I'm about to present to you, like they're not intermixing, even though that's who the marriage is between.
Mm-hmm.
They're not really mingling as much.
Mm-hmm.
No, like an awkward wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
College friends and.
Yeah, you're different.
Yeah.
Friend
yeah,
groups.
We get it. We get it. Nice tie. Knuckle tattoos aren't your thing, bruh.
Yeah.
And so you're gonna like.
So I should do what I do at any wedding, which is to find like the wacky aunt.
Yeah.
That I can hang out with.
Yeah.
The whole time.
The most, I mean, the honest part.
You gotta adopt someone at those functions.
Yeah.
You find someone and you kind of just. You're my temporary friend. Yeah.
Yeah. Hang out with the father of the bride or some shit. 'Cause
exactly.
He's an old pirate too or something.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Get some weird.
Or my hilarious socialist lesbian lawyer friend. Or my roller derby friend who feeds me tacos.
Yeah.
Or so I've got a sizable collection.
Yeah. Exactly. I was gonna say, tis the season.
Yeah.
And so when you're just like, there's no. It seems almost like there's no general order to how everybody's lined up or anything like that, or where you're supposed to sit or anything. So it's just like this fucking beautiful, beautiful, vibrant. You've never seen anything fucking like it.
Wow.
Just.
It's so fancy. Yeah, Bjork doesn't know anybody. She's never been to a wedding, so she's like, oh, I this might be too fancy for me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we're gonna wing it here, and yeah. So
I heard somewhere that it's good form to have your pinky out, but I don't remember the context for that, so I just kind of
roam around with your pinky out. Yeah.
Until I see that nobody else is doing it, so I kind of awkwardly scratch my nose.
Yeah, and even though you're about to sit through an awkwardly long, just wedding ceremony to there is no such thing as we're just gonna have a non-religious ceremony. No. It doesn't matter that they're all from different tribes. You have to go through this 4.5 hour process of listening to them chant in this strange draconic language about the fucking this fucking dragon god Verosithrax.
Ooh.
And there's no, hey bro, can you tone it down on the Jesus bullshit?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need to have an anti-homosexuality message today. We're at a fucking wedding. No, there's none of that. They don't care. Believer, non-believer, kobolds, they're about to school the fuck out of you on Verosithrax, right?
Wow.
And so up here is these dudes.
I mean, tell me more about this religion. I'm interested.
So Verosithrax is an ancient green dragon, and they're hailing it as this is the best fucking thing in the world, and you're like, I mean, it sounds okay or whatever, but
what do I get in the dragon afterlife?
Nothing. You just worship as you should.
Oh.
That's pretty much what it comes down to.
Do the green dragons think they're better than everyone else? Because
they're just better. They just are better. I mean, green dragons are dope, but also yeah. So that is I just. It
just looks like they're gonna fight. Maybe they will. I don't know. I've never been to a wedding.
Yeah, they're just kind of.
They're
just kind of doing their thing, and this is the wedding. This is the wedding party here.
Oh my god.
And yeah, they're definitely kobolds. And you're just kind of looking around, and yeah, you and Bentham are the only two non-kobolds.
Where are we?
You're wherever you want to be.
Okay.
So this and I just want
Besides-
everyone to know that this is only because I don't have 7,000 kobold miniatures. Not yet, but I do have 24. So this is just a representation of what you're staring at. And this room from end to end probably a quarter mile squared.
Yeah, I
And
definitely.
it is packed fucking. There's plenty of walking space. There's an open pit with like still baying donkeys being thrown on it to like thrown on this fucking fire by the caterers.
God. Oh, God.
The caterers, just the kobolds that got picked to cook that day.
Wow. I definitely, during a ceremony, I look at Bentham with this look on my face like, no wonder there was so much fucking gold. What the fuck are we supposed to do if all these kobold... If they all decide to start fighting, what the fuck are we supposed to do?
And like, as I say, I'm just gonna put you two together, and like, it's up to you as to whether you want to just kind of. Nobody signaled to you as to whether you should be up on the altar-ish area, which is just a raised fucking semi-cliff. Yeah, it's like 15 feet tall or whatever, which is probably real tall for a fucking kobold. But like, yeah, even in the peanut gallery, you could. You have a good vantage point of everything if you're just roaming around the outer hallways or whatever. If you want to pick a spot and make some, if you do pick a spot to sit down, like, doesn't matter what color kobold that you sit next to, like, they're clearing out quick.
Word. That's fine. Yeah, we're gonna sit and watch, but I'm also like looking around.
Yeah.
Anything obvious?
Do you want to roll perception or history or anything?
I'm gonna roll perception. God damn it. 4. Oh no!
Roll a different one.
Holy shit, you got it right in my paint tray.
Roll a different one from here out. That one's in dice, not here. I'm not gonna say jail because I just threw it in the other room. Once it's starting to irritate the shit out of me. I don't know why. You've been rolling low. Anyway,
No, like
so
past few sessions.
so with a 4, like you're not gonna notice anything weird. Like nobody's doing anything shifty or anything like that. And the ceremony's gonna continue on, and this, like they're all just. It almost seems like they're entranced with this this repetition hymn of like, all hail Verosithrax, we shall purify, and they're all saying it. So it's like, it's real weird. It's real uncomfortable for you guys.
Yeah.
Do you at any point want to like jokingly join in?
Definitely gonna think about it,
Yeah?
but is anyone watching me right now?
You couldn't tell if you tried.
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing, is like, they all seem, I don't know, they all seem like they're really, really focused on what's going
I'm
on.
gonna elbow Bentham and be like, let's join in.
And he's gonna look down at you and he's gonna say,
I don't want to offend anyone.
and so on the next like start of like all, he's gonna, you're gonna, all hail Verosithrax, right? So are you gonna join in?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So you're gonna feel this like the amount of voices that are ringing out, like even with all that sound that's just ringing out through this, and like the fucking baying of the animals that are being cooked alive. Yeah. And like just, it's weird. It's real weird, because even though the kobolds that are, that were picked to cook that day, they're they're working, but you can also see that like, yeah, they're joining in this thing.
Oh.
Right? And they're chanting as well, and they're working while they look kind of just like when we went to see that drone show, like, yeah, that moment felt right? Once all the owls are not what they seem, like when they were playing, it was like that fucking moment just pushed and pressed in that tiny little fucking venue.
Yeah.
Great place, by the way. Great show. So anyway, they're gonna, like, Yeah, you're gonna feel like almost just like a synchronicity all of a sudden. So, are you gonna Are you gonna keep rolling with it, or are you at any point gonna like stop?
I think I'm gonna stop because something's weird.
Okay. So, you join in for a few, and then and Bentham looks down at you, and he's like, "Did you feel that?"
Yeah.
And he's just gonna say, "Felt good. Strange. We'll just stay out from here out." And so the rest of the ceremony progresses, and it comes to an end with the story of Verosithrax and the destruction of the fifth continent. Because apparently there was a fifth continent, and Verosithrax was like, "Fuck this," and just killed everybody, and made it disappear.
Oh.
Because he likes to do shit like that. He's dope. And it's gonna finish with that story, and Silas is gonna come out from his spot in the back, and he's gonna say, and now we join. Tribal leaders, present your gifts. Okay. And so I'm thinking Etten, but that's not right. So Baral the greener of the kobolds, he's this color tribe. He's gonna come out and he's gonna say, in honor of my new daughter, our new brooder, and the joining of our children, I bring you this. And these two kobolds come out from the crowd, and they're holding this case. Right, this is a beautifully emblazoned case. You can tell that it's not kobold made. He's gonna say, my allies, the Corsair elves, they've stumbled. Not so much stumbled, but they've held this egg in high regard for a very, very long time. And they have presented it to me as a gift, and now I present it to the newlyweds. It's the egg of a copper dragon.
Whoa.
And this this beautifully gilded box, like it's black and like a yellowed gold. You can tell that it's aged, but it's an ebony wood. It shines from even from where you guys are. You can see the shine off of this thing. It's gorgeous, right? And he's got the two kobolds are gonna set it in front of them and open it up, and you're gonna see inside of it this orangey, this orangey metallic egg. Right?
Yeah.
Even from where you're sitting, it's got that.
Swanky.
It's got that kind of power, right? And and Silas is gonna say, "Oh my!" He's like, fucking heart in his throat, excited, elated over this, right?
Yeah.
They're fucking dragon kind, and like you could see he's almost about to fall to his knees, weeping, even seeing this thing, and he's gonna say, and our other guests, our honored brothers from the west, from the east, fire kobolds. Aiden, present, please. And Aiden's gonna just kind of like throw his two little. They got 3 fingers. He's gonna throw his 2 outer fingers in his mouth. He's gonna whistle. It's a piercing whistle, right? And as he whistles, you can see like just the faintest little hint of heat in the cold around you, like fire, because they're fire kobolds, right? And from the area behind you, you're gonna hear wheels squeaking. Mm-hmm. Okay. And you're gonna see a troop of 8 of, similarly colored, that darker red brown scheme. They're pulling this topless cart. So just like a flat cart. It's got about a dozen barrels on it, dozen wooden barrels. And it looks like they're struggling with it because whatever it is extremely dense inside of there. And they're just gonna walk on past you and walk all the way up to the base of, the base of that little 15-foot incline where they're being married. And Aiden's gonna call out, "In honor of the gathering of the tribes, present 15 barrels of fresh black dragon oil."
Yeah.
And he's gonna stand back.
Okay. Makes sense. Ish. So I look at Bentham again.
And Bentham immediately looks down at you. He looks down at you and he says, he just kind of glumly bites his bottom lip, and he just says, "Wrong choice." And that's where we're gonna stop this episode.
Shit.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Do you want a shirt with Hector on it? We print them. This isn't pay fucking $25 through another service to get them. Drop me a line. $14 shipped. $10 local. Get yourself a fucking shirt. Support the show.
Yay.
They look great on my wife's boobs. Duh.